Oh man, we are back. So I played a game off camera. I'm at rank 15 right now. If you're seeing this video, then that means I'm probably currently in Nashville. The game I played off camera was against like the Lunala Kyogre team. It was kind of weird because I think it had like Glare and Wheezing on it and Weavile, so it was a really strange match. I was like, oh man, and I actually thought I was gonna lose at one point. I was like, oh boy. But yeah. So this is the team that just won NAIC and got second at Japanese Nationals. Usually against this team, I actually lead Miraidon, Zamazenta, and then I bring Farigiraf. As tempting as it is to bring Ursaluna, I actually prefer Whimsicott in this matchup just because you do kind of play around with speed ties against the opposing Ursaluna, which you don't really want to do. So yeah, I feel like Whimsicott typically is better in this matchup. I would bring Ursaluna if this team didn't have their own Ursaluna, but unfortunately that's not the case. Typically I want to like Terra type Zamazenta in this matchup if my opponent leads Lunala Miraidon, but if they lead Miraidon Incin, then I want to kind of Terra type the my own Miraidon. So yeah, but my opponent just leads Whimsicott and Miraidon. This is actually a brand new lead that I haven't seen before with this team. What should I do here? I mean, just kind of not Terra typing Miraidon would be risky, but I think they won't Draco it. So I'm just gonna immediately Snarl, just probably Heavy Slam. That's what I'm thinking. We're gonna see what happens. Oh boy. So my opponent doesn't Terra type. I'm assuming they're gonna be going for like an electric move into Zamazenta here. Typically my opponents don't Draco this turn into Miraidon just because I threaten a Terra type. So that's typically what happens. Yeah, so he goes for a Volt Switch. Totally okay with that. So we're going to be able to get off just a little bit of a Snarl and then Heavy Slam. Hopefully this Lunala coming in, because then that would be really good for us. I don't know what that is. That is Lunala. Okay, so we made the right play. Oh boy. Yeah, I was just trying to lower the special attack of Miraidon, so it was kind of like sitting on the field not doing too much. My opponent Moonblast, but we are Assault Vest, so I'm okay with it. They do drop our special attack, which kind of sucks, but whatever. But we do also find out good information that their Miraidon is faster than mine, so that is actually really important to note. It's probably going to determine what I do in these next few turns. Lower their special attack. I'm assuming you bring in Miraidon here. I think what I want to do is kind of switch in my own Whimsicott. Although if they Volt Switch out, then we could be in a little bit of trouble. So we're going to just find out and see. What is that? Is that Miraidon? That is Miraidon. They're probably going to Volt Switch or Draco. I think the best play is bringing Whimsicott, cover for a Draco, just protect. There's a very good chance of Volt Switch here, but just in case for the off chance my opponent goes for Draco, we can at least cover for that. And if they go out to Ursaluna, it still isn't the worst thing in the world because we did shed away our ground weakness, and the Lunala is at -1. So even with the defense boost on Lunala, Heavy Slam still should do an okay amount. It's just the question is I don't know what they're going to Terra. They'll probably save the Terra for Ursaluna in the back if I were, like, because if I were them, that's what I would bring. But yeah, my opponent just immediately goes for Dazzling Gleam. That's good to know. We're going to see what else they do here. They're going to Moongeist Beam into the Zamazenta. Totally cool with that. We can immediately just Endeavor the Miraidon, do a lot of damage here. And just Wide Guard to block out the Dazzling Gleam. I'm not going to click Tailwind just because they could always threaten Trick Room, and then if I Tailwind and they Trick Room, then, then I'm in a bit of a bad spot. So we're just going to kind of guard a little bit here, play a little bit more defensive, and then, yeah, if they Moongeist Beam here into the Zamazenta, then we're looking pretty good. Yeah, so let's just see what ends up happening. We're going to Endeavor, it's going to do a good chunk. And there is Trick Room here, so that is really good now. Yeah, I'm thinking here we hard switch out Whimsicott into Farigiraf, get the defense boost. Zamazenta should be the fastest thing on the field. We're going to body press Miraidon, so they can't really switch it out or it just goes down. So they're just going to lose Miraidon here, so I'm totally cool with that, and we could reverse the Trick Room on this following turn. They also lose the defense boost, so we're looking pretty good right now. So yeah, let's see what ends up happening. Their Miraidon's definitely going to go down. I'm assuming they're not going to Terra type it just because it's so low. It's not really the best decision to do that. So, yeah. So we're going to get rid of that. Fantastic. And then in this following turn, we can... I think we could just protect Actually... Can we do? I think what we do actually is we try to reverse Trick Room and then Heavy Slam the Lunala. It's most likely that the Ursaluna is going to Terra type here, and let's say they don't and then it's Lunala. Most Lunala are Terra Fairy, so it's going to take a lot from this. In order for him to kill any of my Pokemon, he's going to have to double up into that slot. So if he spreads his attacks, then nothing goes down, and then let's say he doubles up into one slot, gets rid of something, I reverse the Trick Room, and then I'll be able to end up essentially just winning the game. So, yeah, so let's see what happens. So, Farigiraf is actually going to live. I did not think it was going to live there, but I am totally cool with this. Yeah, we're going to just reverse Trick Room. We should double up into Lunala this following turn. They're forced to attack with Lunala if they want to win this game into Farigiraf, but even then it's looking kind of bleak for my opponent. So, we're just going to foul play into Lunala, Heavy Slam it again. And then we should be able to bring in Miraidon and then clean up this game. Yeah, so Heavy Slam is going to just barely miss out on the KO, but if they attack, then it's over. They try to Trick Room, totally cool with that. And then now we could just bring in Miraidon, click Electro Drift and Heavy Slam, and then do that until the end of time. So, looking pretty good. Alright, so we should be able to end it on this turn or the next one, depending on if my opponent decides to protect or not. So yeah. I would say that was a pretty clean game for the most part. We did make a little bit of a hard read on that first turn, but typically opponents do not Draco usually turn one just because they're terrified of the Terra type on my end. And then usually like in game 2, then what I tend to do is then I Terra type Miraidon. So yeah. So my opponent's going to cancel the match. Pretty good. And yeah, we'll see what rank we're at. I think with winning this match, it might break me into the 1800s on Pokemon Home. Let me just actually check right now while we're waiting for this to kind of load. Okay. It's taking a moment. All right, good. Let's see. Not continue battling. That's not what we want to do. So we're at rank 9. Okay. Not too bad. Top 10 in the world again. All right, we kind of had to climb our way all the way back up just because we had all those disconnects before. As far as rank is concerned, let me just look real quick. Oh, we're just missing out on 1800s. We're sitting at 1798. All right, so we're right there. It's not too far away. Before we head out, the song of the day is going to be El Paso by Marty Robbins. Very good song. I think it came out in the 1950s or 60s, so it's kind of like folk country, but I don't know, I like it. And I hopefully you guys like it too. But yeah, with that being said, I hope you guys all have a great day. I will see you all next time, and have a good one.